Hi. How's it going? Hi, Yvonne.
Is that lady to your statue?
I know her name. It's Emily. She prefers to go by her nickname, Emmy. She's very cute and very sweet and very shy, so she doesn't like to be sung to in public.
Okay.
But when we go home,
Okay.
there'll be some singing.
How does being on the Emmy stage compare to being on the courtroom set, which I know you guys hated?
I didn't hate it. I loved being in the courtroom. While everybody else was trying to act like they were bored, I was just trying to memorize my lines. The Emmy stage was quite a surreal experience. I think I floated out of my body and looked at everybody down on the crowd and looked at myself, and then I was like, Brown, you got to get up. You only get 45 seconds. So I got up. By the grace of God go I, one foot in front of the other. Don't wear a dress, so I didn't have to worry about tripping. And I just wanted to try to remember what I had in mind that I wanted to say. I think I said most of it. I was pleased. It's a really pleasing feeling to win an Emmy. It's cool.
Right here, straight back. Hi.
Hi.
Congratulations on
Thank
the
you.
award. Wanted to know, did you ever reach out to Chris Darden to try to talk to him? And can you talk about the situation he faced? He seemed to be a very complicated figure in that courtroom, maybe having thoughts that are on one side, the other side. He seemed to be a very complicated character, I felt, during the whole trial.
Sure. I reached out on a couple of occasions, but I got no response. I think I lamely tried to Facebook friend request him once. That was pretty lame. Didn't work out. And then I was trying to find him. I thought he was teaching law, but I realized that he was practicing. I found the phone number for his practice on Yelp, and I called it, and it was abundantly clear to me that it wasn't a landline when I called, it was his cell phone. So I hung up because it was 10:30 at night. I was just checking to see if the line was live. He texted me back saying, "What's up, who's this?" like 8 minutes later, but I was asleep. So when I woke up in the morning, I saw that I got a text from Christopher Darden. I sent him this whole text like, "Hi, I'm Sterling Brown. I've been tasked with portraying you in this new FX series. Love to break bread." And I didn't get any response. And that's okay. He's a grown man doing his own thing, living his life. Clearly, he tried to stay as far away as possible from the show, from the documentary, so c'est la vie. But he was in a very interesting position as the black face of the prosecution, recognizing that Black America was very much on the side of the defense and that Johnny Cochran was incredibly polished and skilled at what he did. I can remember as a young man thinking how awesome Johnny Cochran was, and because Johnny Cochran was this, Chris Darden had to be the fall guy. And I think a lot of us had a very two-dimensional portrayal of who he was, sort of being inept and bumbling at his job. And from reading and the research that I did, I didn't find that to be the case at all. I found, like most people, everybody does the best that they can until they know how to do better. And I wanted to show somebody who was doing the best that they knew how to at that particular time. And that he believed in his case, he believed in the evidence, and he believed that the evidence led him to say that O.J. Simpson was guilty of a double homicide. So I applaud him for his integrity and sticking with that case, in the face of so much resistance from his own community. You know, he was called a race traitor and a sellout, and I think that hurt him. I think that hurts him. I believe outside of the families of Ron and Nicole, he's probably the person that's most haunted by this trial. And I wish him well, yeah.
Hi, down here in the front. Over
Yes.
here. Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So did your opinion of the verdict of the trial change at all, having done this project?
Absolutely. I mean, I was squarely on the side of the defense and rejoiced with most of my classmates in undergrad when this whole thing went down. And so to be entrenched on the side of the prosecution and recognize what they were working with and working against. And the thing that I felt as a young black man, like the injustice that I was concerned about was how I got pulled over for being black, how I got questioned for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I didn't think about Ron and Nicole. They almost occurred as an afterthought. And so to be on the side of the prosecution and recognize that two people had their lives brutally snuffed out. The prosecution was trying to speak up for those people that couldn't speak for themselves. And it's nice to have, and I think the show and the documentary as well helped to show that like people that felt one way people who were squarely on the side of the defense, they can now understand why people were appalled at the verdict. People who were appalled at the verdict and on the side of the prosecution can understand why Black Americans may not have seen things exactly the same way, because there is no objective reality. We are all very subjective in terms of how we experience this world and in terms of how we experience law enforcement. And this entity that's supposed to protect and serve us, not everyone feels as if they are protected or served. So yeah.